Wait, Mentee. Before you hit submit on your medical school application, watch this first. Small changes can make big differences, and I want to make sure that you are showing up as your best. Stay tuned. Hey, Mentee, it is Dr. Nortey, your favorite medical mentor, and I am so excited that it is application season. I know that emotions are running high and you're super nervous about submitting your application and just letting the chips fall where they may. But I need you to pause for a second. Let's take a deep breath. And let's make sure that your portfolio highlights who you are and exemplifies why you need to be chosen in this application cycle to be the class of 2030. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 things that you need to do before hitting submit on your application. And I need you to stay tuned until number 5 because it is truly the most important one. Let's jump straight in. We're not even going to waste time. The first one is to proofread your entire application. If anyone knows Dr. Norte, then you know that Dr. Norte feels very strongly about proofreading. And that's just not your personal statement. It includes your work and activity section, and it also includes your essay for other impactful experiences. Make sure you look over things like spelling, punctuation, and grammar. A lot of students want to do this on their own, and I know some students that are able to do it on their own perfectly. But for most people, you need a fresh set of eyes to look over your work as well. Sometimes it's really hard to catch mistakes that you make. So, someone else taking a look at that same essay or same work and activity section can pick up on something quickly that you may have overlooked because you know what it's supposed to say, but you may not be actually reading what it says. So make sure that you have other people look at your application as well to make sure that you are submitting quality work. I would hate for the reason that you didn't get accepted into medical school be because of proofreading. It's something that's so easy. But imagine getting an application that isn't grammatically correct. It's really not the best presentation, and I don't want that for you, Mentee. The second one is make sure that your personal statement is strong. Ask yourself, does this truly serve the purpose that it is intended for? And what is the personal statement's purpose? It's to answer the question, why do I want to become a physician? For a lot of students that I work with, I've found that most students do not center themselves as the protagonist in their own essay. It's as if they are a bystander in their own story and they're allowing other people to dictate the narrative. I want you to have main character energy and make sure that you are the center of attention and everything else revolves around you, and that you're intentional, focused, and you know exactly the purpose that you have for wanting to become a physician. That needs to be evident in your essay. If someone on the admissions team does not get a good sense of why you want to be a physician, then it's going to be very hard for them to select you as a student in their incoming class. The third one is, do you have a system to stay organized throughout application season? Once you submit your application and secondary start rolling in, things can get messy really fast. Do they require Casper? Do they require preview? Do they send out secondaries automatically, or do they have a system before they send out secondary applications? When are your interview dates? What is a contact for someone on the administrative team of the schools that you've applied to? There's so many questions. I know. And that's why I created the med school acceptance tracker just for you. It allows you to organize all the schools that you've applied to. And it doesn't matter whether it's an MD school or allopathic school, a DO school or an osteopathic school, or even if you're applying through the TESIX medical school system. The best part about this med school acceptance tracker is the live interactive dashboard. As you continue to complete your spreadsheet, the dashboard updates automatically. If you've left something for a long time or haven't updated it, it also turns amber. So it alerts you that you need to get back and get things done. I know life can get really busy. So I get it. I understand. I was in your position just a few years ago. And that's why I created this system so that you don't have to worry about staying organized because I've done the tedious work for you. So make sure that you get your med school acceptance tracker today and stay organized throughout your application cycle and worry about getting accepted into medical school. The fourth one, a lot of people have heard me talk about. And I feel very strongly about students having a strong MCAT score before they submit their application. I know a lot of students are given the advice that they should go ahead and submit their application without an MCAT score in order for it to be verified. That may work if you get an MCAT score that you are proud of and want to apply to medical school with. But what happens if you get a score that you don't want to apply to medical school with? Some students have taken their MCAT in March or April and they have their MCAT score in hand. So they're able to make a good decision about whether they are going to apply in this application cycle or not. But for some students, I understand that things happen, life happens, and you have to take your MCAT in late May, June, July, sometimes even August. But if you are a student that's in that position, I need for you to wait until you get your score in order to apply. If you're playing the game that you're taking your MCAT a little bit later, then you also have to play the game that you're waiting for your score in order to say, yes, my portfolio is where I want it to be, and I know that I want to submit this application. The application season, becomes a lot more enjoyable when you understand what you're putting into the pot. But if you're unsure about a big aspect of the application before you hit submit, you may put yourself into some hot water. And Dr. Norte doesn't want that for you. I know some people will hear that advice and say, Dr. Norte, I can't wait. I need to submit. I have to submit early in order to be in a better position for application season. Some schools don't even look at your application until big components are submitted, like your MCAT score. So you may not be at the advantage that you think that you're getting if you submit without your MCAT score. Some schools don't. It may work in your favor, it may not. I just want you to make sure that you're submitting with all of the documentation that you're proud of. This last one is major, and a lot of students miss it because their anxiety takes over the application season. But I need you to show up with as much confidence as you can. Your family, your friends, Dr. Norte will be here to cheer you on throughout application season. However, there is a certain level of encourage yourself that needs to be had throughout the application cycle. You have to be able to turn off those negative soundtracks and speak positively to yourself, even when there are ups and downs throughout this season. If you have to write it down on a sticky note in your journal, or even change the screensaver on your phone, do that. You have to constantly be reminded that this is possible, that you belong in medical school, that you are worthy, that you've done the hard work and you've had the audacity to submit your application. You have to believe that you're already a medical student. You have to believe that that seat is yours. So you have to make sure that you don't rely on other people's likes, other people's validation in order to say that you are worthy. You have to know, you have to speak like it, you have to walk like it, and you definitely have to exemplify that in your application, in your interviews, in order to get that letter of acceptance that I know you're able to get. Make sure before you hit submit that you look at that application, look at it again, and then look at it once more before you hit submit. And if you need help with someone looking over your application, the link is in my I'm excited to welcome you, Mentee, into the fold, into the world of medicine. I'm ready to welcome you as my colleague. I know this application season is special. And I'm just so excited, and I cannot hide my excitement. I am excited for your success, Mentee. I know your family is proud of you. I know your friends are proud of you. But most of all, I need you to be proud of yourself. You've done so much. You've already accomplished so much, even before you get the acceptance. Welcome to the incoming class of 2027. If this video helped you in any way, go ahead, like and subscribe and share because we don't gatekeep around here. Make sure you share this video with a friend, with a classmate, someone else that you know is also on their pre-med journey, especially those that are applying in the 2026 to 2027 application cycle. If you haven't already joined the MKN family, then what are you waiting for? Make sure you go ahead to subscribe to the monthly newsletter today for confidence boost, to hear from Dr. Nortey, to know about all the events going on, everything MKN mentoring, scholarships, and so much more. The link is down in the description box, so go ahead and do that today. You'll be so happy that you did. I want to hear from you guys in the comments, so go ahead, comment other tools, tips that other pre-meds should definitely do during this application season to stay ahead of the game, because community, community will always be better than doing this journey alone. Alrighty, Mentee, I will see you later. Bye-bye.